Now let me invite ex-President Barack Obama to present the school.
It's going.
The aims of the lesson. Give information about the famous writer Jack London and his work. To improve students' speech and develop their interest for learning English language. Foster love and respect for animals. The theme of the lesson, Brown Wolf, after Jack London. Hello children. Today we are going to talk about a dog that met its owner after a long time. First, let's find the answers to this question. Do animals have a feeling of love, pain, and hope? A person considers himself the king of all living things.
We miss her too.
Some of people think that only they know pain, love, and hope. But everyone who communicates with animals knows that they also have quite strong and deep feelings. Everyone knows that a dog is a man's best friend. Dogs are forever faithful to their owners. Anyone who has a dog will tell you that they will always have a special place in their heart for their close friend, even decades after they are passing. I think we got answer for our question. Jack London. Jack London was born as John Griffith Cheney on January 12, 1876 in the slums of San Francisco. Jack London as a kid grew up in poverty and was raised by a former slave. They moved frequently in search of work. When Jack finished high school, he was 19 years old, and he went to the Klondike in search of gold. Jack London is one of the most successful writers of his time. He also wrote many good books such as White Fang and King of Maisie May. Jack was a miner and loved to write books. He wrote many biographies and wrote a lot about naturism. He writes mostly about his time up in the Klondike and about many of his other jobs such as fishing and traveling. This is a rare footage of Jack London on his California ranch filmed 3 days before his death in 1916. Jack London died on November 22, 1916 at only 40 years old. Brown Wolf is among London's finest short works, a story about the relationship between man and animal.
Madge? Been robbed.
Oh, what? What you gonna do?
Catch him.
Be careful, eh?
Once, Walt Irwin and his wife Madge, who lived in a small cottage in the mountains, found a dog.
Hey, what'd you find?
Darndest looking dog for these parts I've ever seen. Oh, he'll just move on. Or go back to wherever he came from.
He was thin and weak, but he didn't let them touch him.
You take it?
Yes.
Girl, at you.
Yes?
You let you touch him?
Of course not.
You know, I didn't know wolves were so big.
It isn't a wolf, it's a dog.
He smells like no dog I've ever seen.
Well, it's a dog. You can tell by its color and markings. It's a big, mean dog.
Looks like a wolf to me.
All right. Why don't you call him Wolf?
All right. Wolf. Wolf.
He ate the food they gave him only after they had gone away.
So's mine.
When's that poor husband of yours going to buy your own cow?
I don't know, Mrs. Thompson. I don't even think he likes milk. He's been giving most of it to Wolf all summer.
By the way, how is that big dog?
Walt just put a rope around him this morning.
Is that Wolf in Providence?
No, I don't think so, Benjamin.
We'll see about that. He's got the spirit of an unholy bobcat.
He's wild.
No, look at him. He got pedigree. I've seen dogs like him before. They're trained rough by rough men. They hate ropes. And they don't let no one touch him, except the man who touched him first.
I'm going to feed Wolf. You want to come?
No, I'm busy now. You go ahead.
All right.
What?
He's gone.
Gone. Did you lose him?
He must have chewed through his rope.
But when he was strong again, he disappeared.
He didn't finish his food before taking off. I guess he's more independent than you figured. I hope he likes your poetry.
I think he will. He seemed keen on it. I shouldn't have to sit on it too long. Hey, if I sell enough, I'll bring you some milk cow.
Bring me something beautiful.
A few months later, when Aaron was in a train between California and Oregon, he looked out of the window and saw his dog running along the road, 200 miles away from home. He got off the train at the nearest station, bought a piece of meat, caught the dog and took him home again.
Ed! I brought you something beautiful.
What happened to you?
It's a long story.
Look at you.
I'm fine, but I'm starved. Come on, let's go in.
Where did you find him?
Here.
There's not a milk cow here.
Come on. Here.
So Wolf, as they called him, came a second time to the mountain cottage. There he was tied up for a week. To win him became a problem, but Aaron liked problems. At the end of the week, he tied a piece of thin, bright metal round the dog's neck with the words, "Return to Walt Irwin, Glen Ellen, and California."
Walt, look. He's gonna snap my hand away.
You just might stay now. It's been nearly a month.
Then the dog was let go and he disappeared. A day later came a telegram. In 20 hours, Wolf had run over 100 miles to the north and was still going when caught.
I figure you must cover between 100 and
This
150
time
miles
he
a
was
day.
sent back by express train.
Homie didn't
He was
think so.
tied up for 3 days and was let go on the 4th, and he disappeared again. As soon as he was given his freedom, he always ran north. He was always brought back weak and always ran away fresh and strong. At last the dog decided to stay at the cottage. But Ewan and his wife had to wait a long time before they could touch him. When at last he let them do it, they said it was a great victory. The man and woman loved the dog very much. Perhaps this was because it had been such a task to win his love. One summer day, a man came to the cottage. His name was Skip Miller, and he had come from the north to visit his sister.
You're still light as a feather.
It's all right, Benjamin. It's your Uncle Skip. Well, don't blame him. You look like a stuffed bird in that suit. Well, come on in. Whoa.
Whoa! Whoa! Come on. Come on.
And don't you get any ideas about taking him back north.
I'd only toughen him up a bit.
Hey, boy! Hey! Hey, where's that rabbit? Where's that dinner, you?
Where's the...
You? Sit down. Hello, Benji.
Hello, Mr. Irvin.
Cool day for autumn.
Ah, like one of the days back in the Klondike.
Huh?
This is my uncle, Mrs. Johnson's Klondike brother.
Ah, yes, Miller. Skip Miller. That's my name.
I'm Walt Irvin.
Ah,
And this is my wife, Madge.
pleasure to make both your acquaintances. Pleasure.
As soon as the dog saw him, he ran to the man and licked his hands.
Hi, how are you, boy? How are you? How are you? Ah, this is my dog. His name is Brown. You've been taking it easy, huh? And you shouldn't be wearing one of these. Hey, you. Did you put the tag on my dog?
How do we know he's your dog?
How do we know she's your wife? Well?
You wouldn't take him back to the Klondike, would you?
Yep.
But I've heard such terrible things about the hardships up there.
And most of it's true.
We've had him for 2 years.
Lady, what can I tell you? He's my dog, right, Benji?
Is Wolf the dog you almost ate, Uncle Skip?
Oh, there was no game, Benji. I was starved out.
I would have died first.
Maybe. But then you never really choose yourself then, did you?
We have a home to offer him without hardship. What have you got to offer him?
Grub when I got it.
And when you don't?
No grub.
And work?
And plenty of it. Which is a darn sight better than staying in front of a fire as somebody's pet.
Look, you can't prove he's your dog.
Hey, Benji, I don't reckon there's anybody stopping us from taking the dog right now.
Wait. Walt, maybe it is Mr. Miller's dog. I mean, Wolf seemed to have recognized him. Why don't we let Wolf decide?
He's a good companion. Only pal I've had in the world didn't turn disloyal on me. Nurse to myself that I did on canned milk. Used to suck my finger.
He's had a hard life. He's earned a place in front of the fire.
Well, Mr. Miller?
Okay. We'll let him decide. Now you two sit over there, and me and Benji will back down the trail real casual like. Oh, man. This is a matter that usually turns a woman's heart soft, so if you don't mind...
Don't worry, Mr. Miller.
Okay. You don't call after him, and we won't call after him. And Benji won't say anything either, will you, Benji?
For some time, Wolf watched Skiff Miller go, waiting for him to return. Then he ran after him and tried to stop him. Then the dog ran back to where Evan and his wife sat, and tried to make Evan go to Miller. He wanted to be with his old master and the new one at the same time. Madge was happy, but a few minutes later the dog ran away. He never turned his head. Quicker and quicker, he ran along the road and in a few minutes was gone. And now, children, answer the following questions. Was the dog the earrings found fresh and strong? Which did Brown Wolf prefer, Northland life or cottage life? Where did Walt see his dog after he had disappeared the first time? Did the dog run to the south or to the north as soon as he received freedom? Who was the man who once came to the Erin? Right, why Irwin and Skiff Miller wanted to have Brown Wolf? Did they have the same goal? The lesson is over. Goodbye.